to StonedSober and I'm really pissed off!
And there's good reason for it.
Alright,
Okay, you might as well just tell what's happened.
Alright, so basically what happened is my CPU is dead. It's completely dead.
Like your brain.
So, basically I have to go get a new hard drive. Everything we've been working on, Bud Drawn, on the new project has been erased.
So basically nothing.
And, again, I am sorry for now the longest delay of a 7-year project, technically.
7-year production? It's only been a week.
Yeah, but in general, I just lost a lot of stuff.
And we recorded the last one on a Saturday, and it was sent out on, what, a Sunday or a Monday?
And on YouTube. Yeah, we recorded it on Saturday after goddamn, After Effects rendering it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You had the hardest time with it, so I guess this entire audio log or podcast is going to be a bitch fest.
Yes, we're going to be talking about Morrison-Man, which is something we're going to obviously now, or I'm going to be doing more of until we get this resolved.
We're compounding ourselves with more shit because we can't get like anything done as it is.
So expect everything to go everywhere, and I'm not going to lie, probably by August we'll be back up to where we'll have stuff done, we'll have animation, we'll have definitely the walking scene done, and move on to the driving scene. Okay, so
alright, you might as well get your freaking rant out of the way.
Oh, I don't know what else to rant about. Like, I honestly do apologize for something that is a hard drive that's about 10 years old, and stupidly I didn't have it on the terabyte drive, which has my programs and the old Bud Drawn stuff. So, stuff that we're not even using.
Yes, he's very sorry for not giving you content when we didn't even really give you content in the first place.
Yeah, but
I know your hearts are broken.
But it's the start of a new year, and after everything that's been going on, we're trying to keep one thing consistent.
I blame you.
I'm gonna blame you more when it takes forever to get this back up and running, because I gotta make sure all my programs are ready. I gotta make sure this kind of crap isn't happening with the sound playback.
Windows 8, you're gonna have to get used to it.
Oh yeah, and I have to now go on to either A or whatever I can get onto, because I don't know where my Windows 7 is in this giant antique house.
White people problems. There's people in Africa starving and you're griping about your operating system.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled.
You're like, I don't care.
It just adds to the depression. So, either way, I gotta get a new chair. I noticed that on the recording last time. It's rocks.
Oh, yeah, so.
Oh, and don't clap. When you clap, it like jumps the level of the spike.
Oh, sorry.
So those are the only times they actually were in the red.
Oh, okay.
Like that! You're doing this one. Last time I did the other one.
Sorry. Not really.
Oh,
You shouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have clapped.
Well, whatever. We have been talking to another person to get involved. Again, with this delay, I don't know. I can't really promise anything besides it may be another week or two.
Promise anything before.
Well, I'm promising this. At least we're delivering this. Just two freaking idiots talking about problems that we're creating. Technically. So in the meantime, I guess we'll talk about what we are now going to be working on. Or we're going to be talking here first of an idea for a comic that's in the show that's going to be physical, so that you can read it, but at the same time it's a comic that's going to be set in this world that the characters can pick off the shelf, or another character is reading it on a bench.
Yet it will be its own project, right?
Yeah.
It'll be separate, but it will also be incorporated into the Mad World universe.
It's a physical object in the universe. Okay. So that way the characters can discuss about it, but it's going to be more of a meta commentary about the comic book industry in general and comic books itself.
So basically, we're using Mad World to advertise for something else of ours.
That's the whole point. Is like,
Just
but
the
John,
characters go, "This is the best thing I've ever read. You should read it too."
not really. I think they'll just rip on it.
That's what we have people on the internet for.
And we'll use their comments. I don't have to write.
That's actually a really, really good idea.
Okay, so the idea of the comic, I'm gonna say right now, it's called Morrison-Man. It is inspired by Grant Morrison, but initially the idea came across when I was telling you about the idea of Superman losing his job at the Daily Planet. We're just not having it anymore. And what I would think physically, as someone with all those powers of him going around saving people in seconds and stuff like that, being across the world and everything, that'd be cool if Clark Kent's secret identity would have been a comic book artist, so that he could be Clark Kent at cons and stuff like that, and is writing about Superman and stuff like that, so that he's actually reporting right there in the moment. He can actually show you what's that, because he can draw up this really quickly, because again, he's Superman. Just like if he can read a book and figure out heart surgery and do that to Lois so quickly, why not can he not draw and shit like that? So
yeah, but your character goes a little beyond just flying around and hitting things.
well, yeah, because in a sense, Grant Morrison wrote the best Superman story, All-Star Superman. So in a sense, after reading Multiversity and really being enthralled, and actually the one book legitimately made me question if I just should stop reading comics, which was the Ultraman issue. So to get into the character's perspective, Morrison-Man is about, obviously we can't use Superman and stuff like that, so
No.
Morrison
We
is
have to create our own superheroes, pretty much.
yeah, which we're just adapting something from real life that we're inspired by. But Morrison is going to be the comic book.
You hate me. Because I have to write this.
Yeah, but we're going to write it together because I want this actually right. But the idea is...
Then you can't write it if you want it right.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what should happen or beats or what... Because, again, I'm more invested into comic books than you are. So
yeah.
So I have more of a social commentary regarding that. Even right now with DC, in theory, maybe rebooting their universe yet again. Yeah, but their sales have dropped in the past 2 years after Forever Evil. Convergence was a piece of crap. Future's End was a piece of crap. The Earth 2 thing that led into Future's End that technically led into Convergence. This was all a giant mess because DC was moving their office. Like, it was the most stupidest thing. Marvel right now has a better boost in sales, but even Marvel, I'm kind of noticing I was initially just buying the books because of the namesake, because it was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Technically.
I hear that's what a lot of people do. They have a favorite character or group of characters and they buy the comic just because it has them in it.
Yes. I was doing that with Spider-Man, but I kind of just got down to the point is no, I initially started buying comic books to support the writers and artists that I like. So now I'm just picking at the artists and writers that I like.
Yeah, you have to, because you get like a $600 paycheck and $300 of that goes to comic books.
Yeah. So anyways, besides my addiction problems,
yeah, so you might as well get into the powers of your Morrison-Man.
Okay, so what's greater than Superman? The power of imagination. The power to think of anything, do anything, can become anything. So what if a man like that can resemble or be as? If you compare Grant Morrison to someone, say, like Frank Miller...
My friend wants to suck Grant Morrison's cock, obviously, because he's just praising him nonstop.
No, but the dude has written legitimately good work. He created my favorite character, Damian Wayne, and killed him off.
That's fine, but you don't have to blow him during this entire freaking podcast.
No, but it's just like in general, I connect more to that writer than I do to, say, Frank Miller. I connect more to that visionary than I do, say, the current writer of Batman, Scott Snyder, because
Okay, so then let's get into this. His ability is imagination. Is it like he just snaps his fingers and then something happens and appears, or does he have to actually draw it in a comic and then it comes to life?
I was thinking more like anything can happen. But the whole idea of the comic itself is that Morrison is writing the comic and creating it. But it's been over flooded with other people that are trying to create other Morrison-Man stories. So in a sense, all the comics are getting over flooded. It's over marketed. You've told every story with Morrison-Man. That's what it's going to imply in the comic itself.
I'm starting to hate you.
You see how complex it is? Because it's taking the idea of Batman. There's like what currently right now. I think there's 8 or 9.
In case you hadn't noticed, I'm not fucking Grant Morrison.
I know, but I can lay this out. I can make if I can think it this way. I think you can write it that way.
Yeah, but your mind is a maze of freaking stupidity and dead ends.
Anyways, well, it has to associate with because like if this is happening there, the whole idea of the enemy of the comic is the reader himself.
So you're ripping off multiversity.
Well, technically, in a sense, to rip off of any comic. You're only bringing that comic alive when you're reading it, but technically it's slowly killing you by wasting your time.
So, like, every other panel, he's going to be like, fuck you, reader.
No, but that's what I'm thinking. He's not going to be cynical. He's not going to do the common superhero trope. He's not going to be the 90s comic book villain or heroes that are anti-heroes that are like Spawn and that crap. Azrael and all this other stuff. Like, it's not going to be 90s comics. It's not going to be 80s comics. It's going to be weird because...
I don't think you even know which decade it's going to be either.
Well, because it's going to be... That is kind of true. At this point, we're developing it right here, right now. This is technically our first... This is the longest...
You're developing.
Well, I still got to draw and all this other stuff. But, for example... I was thinking, like, he could just do the most stupidest things to take out a villain that's in that world.
The problem, though, when you have a character that is literally God, is that he could just snap his fingers and the problem goes away.
But the idea is the same thing of Superman. Superman's not that type of person that's going to kill someone.
That's fine, but then he could just go, you're in jail.
I know.
What's the point?
What's the point is, like, he can't work. Every story's been told.
He can do anything. He can go, I want a story that hasn't been told. Snaps his fingers.
Again, in that reality, though, it's been told. Like, even right now, if we went through a vein of ideas and ideas and ideas, like, in the comic itself, readers have to be kind of like, screw this, I'm not reading this anymore. So it's the same context of you reading the comic book. You're not, if Morrison-Man isn't going to be alive if you don't read it.
This is a garbled mess and I hate it.
No, it's really complex. But for example, like, I was thinking, like, even we can poke around and have fun with it. Like, he's not supposed to be evil at all. There is a story in that universe where he has been evil, but it's done by a different artist and writer.
So is he literally like the amalgamation of everybody else's writing? Like every story has combined into like this one being?
I guess. Like, that's actually a good idea.
So he's literally the aspect of all the good and all the evil, neutral, horrible backstory, pleasant backstory, great ending, bad ending. He's like...
He's basically everything. It's just it's becoming too, like, it's like the series has gone on too long. Like, there's nothing left, and that's his problem. Like, he doesn't know what to do if you've done everything. Like, his powers are supposed to be, even if there's just this gigantic monster or whatever, like, he can snap his fingers and it would revive everyone around him and turn that monster into a bunny if he wanted to. But I want to play around with it and think in, like, Morrison's head and think what he would do. Now, Morrison isn't a guy that would try to actually want to kill people. Like, he would be more of the positive side. Um, like, the whole idea of why he was into comics was he lived next to a nuclear reactor that was developing bombs.
So he's like, I hope I get superpowers someday.
But it's the whole idea of there's a bomb, or there may be. There's word of mouth, and it's spreading fear of that bomb that's brought over by the Americans.
So this is supposed to be people are afraid of him and what he can do?
But no, this is the thing. Americans also brought over Superman, a comic of a superhero that has the power to stop the bomb. It gives them hope at the same time fear.
Okay.
So
yeah, I understand. That makes sense. A guy who can do anything could be a great hope or cause total annihilation.
yeah, so we have to play on that balance again. This is going to be a really complex. The next month, I'm just going to
You're
be doing.
saying it's complex. We'll see.
Well, it might be not. Again, this isn't supposed to be like a 12-issue series. This is just in the meantime. While I'm at work on a break, I'm going to be drawing this comic. It's not.
You're going to be like, how does flipping burgers relate to a guy who could be God? Just.
What if the guy that is God and that moment wants to make burgers?
Then he just make fucking burgers.
I know, but like he can have like a panel where it's like a 12-page, 6-page panel. He's at a different job every panel at the same second.
This is so pointless.
But he wants to do it.
This is just an excuse for you to draw anything.
Kind of.
I knew it.
Well, that's the thing, though. Is like we are going to
Adventure ho.
Well, that's the thing, though. Is
Today, Morrison-Man eats pizza.
Well, that's the same thing with any comic book I get. Like, none of the stories are like something where it's like, oh my god, like even Saga, the recent issue, like I wasn't thrilled about it. But again, this comic it's the idea of someone that is a comic book creator that has a secret identity. He still has a secret identity. He's going to be Morrison, but I was thinking of Morrison originally started off in a band before he was a comic book, like before he got really.
Your fucking bands.
Well, that was the thing though. Like the way that he looked was like that's why I was thinking like we can do some weird trippy stuff that I'm not used to. Like, yes,
I think you're used to the weird trippy stuff, my friend.
Yeah, but not drawing.
Really? I see some of your drawings that look fucked.
Yeah, well, like I was thinking, like kind of like Yellow Submarine type of like him hitting a guitar string or whatever, and it sprouts out like weird, like a sound wave that would morph the freaking character into something pleasant.
I see where you're going with this, and I'm glad that's your department.
Like that's the thing. Like we're not trying to create the best comic. I'm just creating,
obviously.
I'm just trying to create an idea because I need to kill time at work. But again, when this is out and people do read it, because like I bought that crappy freaking Dark Knight Strikes again. You saw the panels in that. That looks like crap.
Yes, but that's actually cute when this is out.
But again, we just might just do one issue because the whole idea is like in the story itself, every story's been told. This should, I think, in a sense, should be the last story of Morrison-Man, even though it's technically our first.
It's a short story. It's literally a drawing of him and the end.
Because, like, technically, like, you can have it that he's taking a secret identity, but, like, he can even play around what the idea.
He could, like, come out in the open and go, hey, I'm a superhero, and they go, forget. Just to fuck with people.
Yes! You can do a whole Men in Black thing, which is technically a comic book, so it relates to it.
Yeah, we're gonna need to establish some very strict guidelines and rules for this universe before we even...
That is true. Again, this is our first discussion of this, really.
Yeah, and already I'm scared shitless.
Yeah, but the main key point is that
he's God.
He's God, and he's also the comic book writer in the comic. So
I mean, if you want to like get into like real deep, then it like brings up like the God paradox itself. If God exists and he's benevolent, why doesn't he help everybody on the planet? Either he's apathetic, which means he doesn't give a shit about anybody,
George Dry.
or he's at the very extreme, he actually thrives on all the pain and misery.
Yeah, that is true.
So like you have to kind of set where this guy's moral boundary is, and like say if he helps someone, then you go, okay, now why can't he help everyone else?
Because I think at the same time it goes back to reading a comic book. You are wasting your valuable time. So
We're wasting our valuable time.
That is true, but I don't have my computer right now, so but in a sense, he is technically the villain. But
I thought you just said he was the hero.
He is, but the idea that he's creating comics to again waste people's time.
Wow, this is some crazy guy. I created a comic. You can read it for about 10 minutes, and then you go about your day.
Like, that's the whole thing, is like, there is so many Batman books. There's like 8 this month.
Wow.
Every month. Are you gonna read all that?
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's some idiot that will. I used to. So, I'm just saying, like, the whole idea of comics, how it is technically, it will always exist, but it won't be as popular as it wants to be.
Yeah.
Just like this show.
Nothing's ever as popular as it wants to be.
Just like this show, it will exist, but it won't be as popular compared to two viewers.
Yeah, that's true. We won't even get a cult following. A cult implies you have more than 10 people.
Oh, we got 16 views in the last video.
Yeah, but those people, it was probably by accident.
And probably most of it was me.
How many times did you watch it or view it?
I could have sworn I only did it 3 times. Technically 4 today.
So we've gone from 16 to 12 now. A little, well, I won't say realistic, because that's about 12 more than I thought we'd get.
But again, going back to it, is that this is just one idea for a separate comic in the universe. Another one that I did have, which I did tell you about, was the idea of Batman having to kill Superman, but Superman was the only one that wanted Batman to kill it for some.
We can't do that.
I know, we'll just create stupid characters that we're. All we need is an alien and a dude that's human that has money. That's the easiest thing to do. Instead of him actually looking human, you can make him look like an alien.
We can make him look absolutely just ridiculous, right?
Yeah. Well,
so we'll make him look like you.
But again, like, when again, it was the idea of injustice. I really like that story. But let's just swap it around where, like, Batman had to do something to Superman because Superman was going to explode, do something, whatever. He's the only man that actually had to kill him.
Wouldn't Superman, if he had to explode, wouldn't Superman just fly away?
Well, let's just say, like, he had to die another way. Maybe it was like a cancer, a radiation cancer. Maybe he had to actually physically die, or if he was alive, his body would be erupted by the radiation from the sun.
So then they just put him into a rocket and fire him out into space.
Either way,
there's like a million ways to get around this.
There's a million and we gotta think of all those ways.
Fuck you.
Either way, that comic probably won't be out till like 3 years.
Probably won't be out till ever.
Well, it's still an idea. And again,
this fucking show is still an idea.
Yeah, but at least for the show, we know where they're going. For this comic, this is just an idea that we just came up with.
You just came up with.
Well, again, we already talked.
And now I'm getting suckered into it.
Well, we're going to figure it out. I gotta still look more in. Like, I'm gonna research more about Morrison compared to what I've already have.
Although, to be fair, when I first got a glimpse of your show after you said you want me to write for it, I was like, oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah, but again, it's just more of like, I have ideas, I don't know how to execute them.
You should just execute them. Period. Like, I don't mean like bring them onto page. I mean literally kill the ideas.
Well, technically, my brain cells are getting killed every day.
No one's arguing.
No, but like, again, I do like this idea. It gives me something to work on.
And the show doesn't.
No, it does. It's just I can create a page like that in like 24 hours, maybe.
We can barely
Less.
get a sidewalk edited. You want to go on to that?
Yeah, but again, like, there's only 2 games that are going to slow this production going forward.
Final Fantasy 15
and Kingdom Hearts 3. Those are the only 2 games, because even I was debating about Pokemon, but it was too much on my plate.
What do you mean Pokemon? Which Pokemon's coming out now?
Well, actually right now, if you go to GameStop in February, you can pick up your Mew, and then if you go in March, you can pick up your whatever the next legendary is, Saladin. And then, so every month they're releasing a legendary that you have to go to GameStop and do your mystery gift. And then Pokemon Go's being released, I think it was March, April. So that makes me kind of want to get a passport and go around catching Pokemon. Yeah, but that was a dream. That was a dream as a kid. I was enthralled with that show.
So was every kid.
Yeah, but like I remember getting it before it was released. Like Nintendo Power.
And they weren't subtle either. I mean, the main character's name is Ash Ketchum.
Oh. His middle name got cut out.
Last name, idiot.
Okay, his last
It'd be
name
Ash
got cut.
Ketchum All.
Yeah, I didn't think that.
I know you didn't. That's why I'm making fun of you for it.
God damn it. No, but like I got that. Like I remember NATO got that in Nintendo Power before the TV show was released, before the games were released. So I already knew what Pokemon was before the average Joe did.
Okay.
So like I was already invested. I was already thinking of ideas of.
Well, to be fair, the average Joe was like the parents who were going like, "What the hell is this my kid's watching now?"
Well, no, because like this is the thing. I remember watching that, and I think it was like September or something. I don't remember exactly because I remember it wasn't winter, but I remember Pokemon coming out. I think in the winter, because I remember specifically. Rim.
Do you mean specifically?
Stiff.
It's like a little kid saying Paschetti.
Shut up. Spuff.
Oh my god, this is sad. Specifically.
Specifically.
Yeah, that's it. You got it. Please go back to Pacific. It's less sad.
I hate you.
Thank you.
Well, at least today I'm not getting a headache. Usually I get a headache when I laugh.
When you're around me, period.
Yeah, but in a good way. It doesn't give me a sheer aneurysm from you pointing out my stupidity.
Stupidity? Here we go again. Oh, this is great.
No, it's not. It's like, do you want physical proof that you're mentally challenged? Read this. No, listen to this.
Go on, keep talking. I'm like a psychiatrist.
Go on. What? Are you drawing like dicks and boobs in your freaking notes? Go on. I'm listening. That's nice, dear. Oh, good. Okay. To finish my train of thought, saw it in. Santa Claus asked me what I wanted, and minutes before I was in Zellers, and on the glass wall they were showing the red and blue sticker, and I said I wanted that one.
So you didn't tell him which one you wanted. You just like vaguely, I want that one.
No. In my head, I'm picturing what actually did happen. Like, but no, I was telling my dad that I knew what it was called because I said Pokemon, obviously my dad was there. And the thing that like really freaked me out too, because what happened was again you need the Game Boy with it. Um, so and I wanted Charizard. Now, short story. The point is, I got blue. Okay. Now back to the story. The I was looking. I got a lot of stuff that year, but that was the only thing I wanted. Like that was legitimately the only thing I wanted. And I think this is how it went. I opened everything. It was like, he's like, "Oh, were you happy with everything you got?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't get this one thing I wanted." And he started freaking out. He's like, "Really?" He's looking all over. He's like, "Where did I put it?" So he left it on top of the fireplace, and I remember because he surprised me with it. It was either I already opened up the Game Boy, but I didn't know where Pokemon was,
Oh, okay.
or he gave me the Game Boy first, and I didn't think I would get Pokemon, and he showed it to me. I don't remember exactly how it went.
Yeah.
I just know that's the reaction. Because the Game Boy, when you opened it up, it had 6 games like Mario Land, Tetris,
Oh crap.
Kirby. Because it was that case where like you would.
Remember when I got my Game Boy, I didn't get a single game with it.
No, like it was a case that came with games. I still have it somewhere, but I gotta find it.
Yeah, not important.
Actually, it might be down there. Not 100% sure. Anyways,
Don't care.
I just remember getting that game and being so happy. Like that was legitimately the happiest moment of my life.
I think I'm starting to see the problem. It was like your highest point in life.
Well,
Everything's been downhill since then.
ever since I stopped playing Pokemon, it all makes sense.
Start playing Pokemon.
No, I was consumed by that game. I was playing that game every waking moment I was here. I was playing in the car. I was playing when I was walking. Like I was physically addicted, and it took me 3 years to beat the game because Joe and my one buddy were ignorant enough because they knew I had a learning, like I didn't know how to read well, that I was stuck in the city on Saffron City, and I didn't know that you were supposed to go Team Rocket up in the building and stuff like that. So I was constantly running around the world catching Pokemon, trying to figure out, talking to everyone, trying to figure out how to get past this one area. And I remember
You couldn't buy a guidebook or something?
I didn't know they had guidebooks. And again, it was just so amazing though because I remember where I beat it. I beat it in front of where Sears used to be, where the bus station used to be, in that building.
Yeah.
Because we were waiting for something, and I just remember watching the credits and being so happy. And then once the credits ended, the game just continued over. And I was like, really? Really? And then just kept playing it nonstop until obviously the next version came out, or I actually got Red and got to play that and realized there was no difference.
Their marketing is so genius and so evil.
But and then Yellow was amazing.
Yep, I actually have Pikachu follow you. That's like what I loved about it.
And that's what they do in the new games now.
You do?
Yeah, you can pick what Pokemon. I think you can do it in X and Y. You can pick which Pokemon you want to follow you.
I don't remember that.
You can do that because it's in one of the newer games. I remember.
All I know is in X and Y you can just pet the Pokemon.
Might be. I've never played X and Y or Black and White.
I have with an emulator, and you don't get a Pokemon to follow you.
I think it's X and Y because I know they do that. Oh no! I think it was Hearts. I think it was Hearthstone and something Silver.
Like Soul Sapphire.
Yeah, the remix. It's one of those games where you can pick the Pokemon to follow you. Because I remember.
It's like 1,000,001 versions now. I've stopped paying attention.
Yeah. Oh, such a good game. We should create.
No,
Pokemon.
it's not.
It's
a horrible game. It's just.
But it's the. It was
so deceptively, geniusly simple.
It was everyone's. Not everyone's, but the majority of kids' first RPG.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, yeah, you don't have the double battles, which obviously is what. When you get a double battles, that's your favorite moment. When you're playing with your buddy and you're going in the tournament and you're doing double battles. I remember playing with my buddy, and he would always beat me with Jolteon on whatever freaking thing he had. He would just amp up Jolteon's speed so that he would always go first. Then he would have like a dragon rock flying dude who already cancels out everything else that goes well with that team. I had almost every legendary on my team, and usually I couldn't beat Jolteon until my 6th guy.
Holy shit.
While he still had 5 others, or 4 others if I was lucky.
That's crazy.
And it started off when we were both playing the game. I beat the game first, so I got the legendary, and I just kept on grinding and grinding. So he did beat it later, but it progressed from him learning my team to him actually figuring out the game, because he's played in it as, again, he was the one that, when we both watched the tape together.
Yeah.
God damn you, bastard.
It sounds like you're still holding some animosity towards him.
Not really, because
Did you ever beat him?
I did initially, but he didn't beat the game yet.
So as soon as he got to like where you're at, then he kicked your ass repeatedly.
Yeah. But that was the thing though, is like technically the rule is, or what we would discuss is like, or he would more particular, is like using legendaries is cheating. And to be fair, in a sense they could be, but I used a lot of legendaries and he kicked my ass tons of times.
I don't know, I found whenever I played the game I never used the legendaries. I always stuck with whatever one I got at the beginning. And that was the only one I used pretty much.
Well, it got to the point where like Charizard was my favorite, but then they debuffed him in Gold and Silver, so like he was weak again because he had flying.
Yeah.
I hated that. Like that was my favorite character until Mew. And then in high school, my favorite was Munchlax.
Really?
Because I was fat.
That makes sense.
I connected to that guy more. So he evolved into a Snorlax. Then I'd make sure I'd devolve him so he'd always be Munchlax. But even like Pikachu, you have to evolve him at one point so then he can start getting Raichu status, like his attacks and stuff like that. Because when
actually I never did.
You do, if you were to have your Pikachu leveled up to 100,
I know his stats would be weaker, but I didn't.
I know, but like that's the whole key. It's like to be so good at that game, you have to like figure out, when do I level up this guy? When do I de-level this guy until he gets this ability at this level? Like it's so, it can become convoluted. Confusing.
There you go. Simple word so you don't cook your brain.
Oh.
And the word you were looking for was convoluted. Don't try and say it. It's gonna be the biscotti thing again.
Okay, the worst was when Yu-Gi-Oh came out and I couldn't say Dark Magician.
What the hell were you saying instead?
Dark Munition.
Dark Munition.
Yeah, well, it went from Morrison-Man to Pokemon. It's actually kind of a good thing though, because I did like talking about Pokemon.
Who doesn't?
You.
I'm talking about Pokemon, just not as much as you.
Okay.
But I still agree that we have to keep focused on the projects we're doing and can't go too much of it.
Yes. I totally agree with you. Okay, wow, that's what I was trying to end it.
Then fucking end it.
Okay, this is Stone and Silver, and hopefully next week we have either a guest maybe, or...
Yeah, don't hold your breath. I certainly not.
I almost lost my breath. We'll know that I'll be more screwed up from the other stuff. Deadpool doesn't come out until a couple more weeks, which then we'll probably talk about that. And we should take it to your first Shift Club. This is Stone and Sober. I'm Rose.
I'm Jake.
Nice going. I don't even do that. And half the time I'm like screwed up on crap.
That's quick.
Okay, just keep it. Okay. Oh my god.
Your desk is so fucking flimsy.
I know it is. And yet I don't seem to do that. God damn it. No freaking joke.